Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be airbrushing a splash of water on a strawberry. And I chose to do it on a black panel instead of a white, which makes it more difficult. So stay tuned and we'll do this step by step. So you notice that I had sanded it with a gray Scotch-Brite pad, and then I washed it clean, and it has a blue stencil on it over it, and it's called Vivid. So I just used that because I had it. It's a little bit less tackier than Frisket, but it is a little thicker too, so it's kind of difficult to cut. So here you see me coming in with white, and because it's a black background, we have to do white first to get the colors to show up. But anyway, this is not a transparent color. This is opaque Cretex illustration. And I'm just coming in and putting in those highlights where it needs to be a little bit brighter and leaving areas a little bit darker where there needs to be some shadow in it. Now this is going to be a semi-photorealistic because since it's on black, it leaves me without the ability to erase the way I would like to, because once you try to erase on a black panel, then it kind of goes into the black. We don't want the black, we want the white. So now in some areas I'll be able to erase a little bit of the color that's over uh, like the white. If you do it to where you clear it and then you put your color over it, you can erase. But if you don't do it like that, you cannot. And what I mean by clear is if you do all your layout in a white uh, and then you clear coat it with automotive clear or just a like, I don't know, Crayon clear, then you can come back in and lay your colors over top of that. But I don't normally do it that way just because, you know, you don't want any kind of wrinkling or anything when you do finally clear it. You have to be really careful if you do it like that. So I normally don't, but if I wanted to make it like a 3D where it's popping out, I kind of do it like that. It's just a you got to be really careful when you clear it. You have to more fog it, um, like a tack coat, and then a couple different tack coats, and then you finally clear where it's a glossy clear. But anywho, back to what I'm doing, and remember this is an opaque white because we want those colors to really show up. And you probably can't tell, but I've got some little leaf lines in there. And if you wanted to, you could like pick a hair or something from your own hair, or you could use just a hair a hair off of a brush, a paintbrush that you have, and you can kind of lay it on there and then spray around it in different areas to get those little tiny lines. Um, I'm just choosing to do it freehand. I've always kind of airbrush freehand, but if you wanted to be like photorealistic, and I'm going to be laying in some texture in these leaves. It's not going to be all this. You know, you take stencils and you focus on putting some leaf textures in there. I'm constantly picking off the needle off the end of my airbrush. It's a habit to get into doing because you don't want your needle to get clogged up on you. Here you see a shield I'm using just to go down and lay some lines and get a sharp curve on those leaves. And you can bounce around your airbrush just so you can get different textures that way. Here you see me laying a few little textures in with a texture stencil. Just gives some highlights in the leaves in different areas. You don't have to do a whole lot. Like I got a little carried away, I think, because I like a lot of texture. And with this said, when I come back in, keep in mind this is just the leaves we're working on here. I didn't cut off the rest of the stencil with the strawberry. So here you see me laying in a candied uh, water-based acrylic. And this is Cretex Poison Green candy color. And I'm coming back in and laying it over this the green leaves here because they're quite bright in some areas and then they're dark in other areas. Um, with the candy, you do have to mix it with 40-30 or 40-50, and I mix this with 40-50, just a drop or two, really. And it's quite a thick um, little clear that I think is more or less a clear protective. It's like an intercoat clear if you've ever done automotive. In House of Color, they want you to use an intercoat clear so that it protects the candied. And that's what the purpose of that is for. But here I'm spraying in the candied and leaving some dark areas. And then I will come back in with a marine blue, just a drop or two here and there of the candy. Some of the leaves have a little bit of a hint of blue on them, so I thought I would add that in there. And I didn't want to, I kind of wanted to go along with the candied and not the uh, regular blue illustration. And this is the kind of bluish color I'm putting in there. Now, depending on your printer, I don't know if you printed this picture off or not, but depending on your printer, you're going to get different shades of the strawberry and the leaves and stuff, and which mine did. The copy that I printed off is just horrible. I just realized I had it on autofocus. I apologize. But uh, I forgot what I was saying. Happens to the best of us. But anyhow, I'm going back in here with that marine blue and just darkening up some leaves here and there, putting shadows in and all that. Makes it look a little bit more real. And you know, when you're doing realism, it doesn't have to be perfect because everything is different. I don't think anybody can paint the same picture 100%. So we are just doing the best we can here for realistic. Here you see I cut out that piece of strawberry and I'm laying the stencil that I had cut out for the leaves back over the leaves so I can protect them as I come around with the white to start laying in the strawberry here. And I didn't cut out the bottom part of the strawberry because there's some real striking white and shades in this where it's splashing in the water. So I kind of want to do that section by section. And I'm realizing that I should have projected this. So I'm just kind of hand drawing it in. So it is not going to be exact to the picture. So, but we're still going to try for photorealism. Make it look real, like it can be eaten. There I have my little dots in there, and I'm just going to come around with, I have this is really thin, opaque white, and I have probably 15 pounds of pressure that I'm spraying here. And I've even got my valve down at the bottom there turned tight to where it's barely coming out, but it sure looks like it's coming out a lot, but it isn't. I'm just holding it back so it's fanning out some. It's not laying a really, really thin, tight line because you want that as you're shading the strawberry. It helps it. I don't know why my autofocus is on. but it keeps going in and out. But so and then I'll be airbrushing some areas of the strawberry a lot whiter, I guess you say. It's like you're painting in like a black and white photo, I guess. You kind of have to look at it backwards because your shadows and your shades going to be all different. And I have not done a chromatic picture before. I apologize for my air compressor. Here I'm just kind of filling in those little dots here and there of the strawberry, because we'll be coming back in with some tequila yellow candy over those little dots. There's a shade in the strawberry, a darker shade where the water's coming up to hit it, and then some of it's pretty bright, so I'm trying to get in those highlights. And I will be using a brush on this picture too. I just wanted to let you know. Normally you do not use a paintbrush when you're airbrushing, but if you're very, very careful, you can't. You just can't keep messing around with it. It's like one dot, leave it alone. One dot with the paintbrush, leave it alone. Go back to it when it dries. You cannot keep, you know, painting around with the paintbrush. It takes off the airbrush paint. And I normally only use it for like highlights if I need it to be really bright. I was trying to erase in that little area there that's going to be a water droplet. And I'm just kind of misting over this strawberry, getting it kind of filled in with white before I can come back over it with the red. Here I'm spraying in candied tequila yellow. Also Cretex illustration. Or it's Cretex, sorry. And I'm also spraying the dots in yellow. They probably won't show up as good, but they will. It's all a process of layering. Excuse me. Here I'm coming back in with the red. And this is candy blood red. Starting to take a little bit more shape here. You can see it's starting to take shape, starting to look more like a strawberry. Just putting in some little highlights, and even you can't see them on here. It's not close up enough, which I will try to do on the next video. This video is probably going to take 3 parts to it, so, and maybe 4. The reason why I chose to do this one is I have always had a rough time with water, but with this one it's kind of like a chromey effect, so I thought, well, I'm good with chrome, so let's see if I can do it. And thanks for watching, guys. Come back for part 2. Stay tuned, subscribe, and share. This is Roxanne.